Welcome to Good Morning Football. We are live in Times Square this morning. It is Monday, October 8th. Week 5 almost in the books. Not quite. There's, of course, a Monday night game, but we're talking everything Sunday and Sunday night. My name is Kay Adams. We've got Nate Burleson and Peter Schrager and Kyle Brandt, and this shirt is a character of its own on this show right now.
It's just like this weekend, Kay. Crazy.
Wild, ups, downs.
I got some orange in here for the Browns.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cleveland.
Shout out to Cleveland. Shout out to you calling Cleveland, winning that game over their divisional rival. We're going to get to all of that during these 3 hours. We'll have Ian Rappaport on to break down injuries and other stuff going on. But let's go to Texas. Take me to Texas.
Hey, you said highlights, right?
Lone Star State show.
Right, let's do it. NRG. I'm trying to do your thing, Nate. You know.
It looks good.
Texans, Cowboys, Prescott, Elliott. What do we have in this? Let's go right to the third quarter. The Texans leading 10-6. Awesome play here for Dallas. They pitch, and then they go. Guys, Allen Hurns with a touchdown on the back of the end zone. His only reception of the game. But in a game of red zone woes, that was a great one. Fourth quarter now, Houston back up 16-13. Play of the year for the Dallas Cowboys. J.J. Watt can't get him. Dak rolling out, evades the rush. Is he going to throw this thing downfield? Good decision or bad? Great decision. Incredible play. He hits Tavon Austin for 44 yards. Collinsworth says, unbelievable. JJ can't believe it. But now here comes Deshaun Watson now. Dallas ties the game 16-16. 20 seconds left in regulation. Intercepted by Woods. Is he going to house this thing? No. But he does leave some time on the clock. Dallas cannot do anything with it. So, since it's 2018, we go to overtime because that's what we do in the NFL. Yeah. Free football, as they say. We have a 3rd-and-1 for the Cowboys at the Texans' 42-yard line. They give it to Zeke. He gets stopped. They're on the Texans side of the field. Do they go for it on 4th-and-1? Garrett elects to punt. Punt in Texans territory. More on that in a second, which gives the ball back to Deshaun Watson, who makes magic. Watch Nuke the bomb right here. Watch the catch after the run. Go, DeAndre. He goes, whoop, and he does a whoop. A double spin. Is he going to house it? Almost. Oh,
wait, you're holding the ball?
Oh, Leighton Vander Esch finally gets him, but it was a massive gain of 49 yards, and that leads it to Kaimi Fairbairn, who ends the game 19-16 walk-off field goal on a wild day in the NFL for kickers. He was true. Deshaun Watson gets the win at home and the national spotlight. So much to talk about after this one. Obviously a massive win for the Texans, but a lot of the chatter this morning around this country is about America's team playing it safe, not going for it on 4th-and-1 in overtime. Jason Garrett, what say you?
Yeah, it was a long one. You know, we had a 3rd and 2, and we didn't make much on it. And we just felt like at that point in the game, the way our defense was playing, the idea was to pin him down there. Chris did a great job with the punt. They got the ball on the 10-yard line, and hopefully you make a stop and you win the game coming back the other way with a game-winning field goal.
All right, you heard the explanation. What do you gentlemen here at the table, you guys had a lot to say about this before the show. What do you think about the Cowboys not going for it on 4th down?
I'm in the car on the way in this morning, okay? I have this driver. His name's Fred. I'm all half asleep. I'm lying there. Fred goes, why don't you go for it? And I, what the hell? You talking about my personal life? What are you talking about, Fred? Ezekiel Elliott's on. He's screaming at me. In the back, he's screaming at me. People are furious about this because we're in an era of boldness and going for it, and you are in the Texans' territory. You have poured millions of dollars into your offensive line. You have a 235-pound quarterback if you want to sneak it. You have Ezekiel Elliott if you want to run it. Jason Garrett elects the punt. They never get the ball back. I know it's Monday morning. I'm going to play quarterback. I think it was a terrible decision. I think it was the safest decision he could have possibly made. What was the plan? We're going to punt it. We're going to stop him. We're going to get it again. Isn't everything you want as a coach one opportunity to make 1 yard and effectively win the game?
Right.
We saw it yesterday. You know what the play should have looked like when the Cowboys had 4th-and-1 with the game? It should have looked like this. Show everyone in Cowboys Nation what it looked like. That's the Rams. That is at the end of the game electing to go with a quarterback sneak. And look at Jared Goff.
Look how fired up.
That should have been Dak Prescott. I know this and that, and Monday morning you can second guess. I thought it was a really, really bad call and a huge moment.
I hated it too. And Garrett's comments afterwards were that it was like a long 1 yard. It almost feels like a parody comment. And I know everyone's going to pick on them, but that's where seasons are won. That's where locker rooms are won. And we can't applaud McVay and we can't applaud Frank Reich for missing. Like, this is what the NFL is right now in 2018. You've got to live boldly because your teams follow their coaches. I didn't like it, but I know that, you know, I didn't coach football. So,
yeah.
To me, though, that energy that the Rams showed after that play, and we're going to get to that one.
Win the game.
that's what you need. And right now, the Cowboys players are like, well, he didn't trust our offensive line, our running back, or our quarterback, and we don't have a receiver. So I guess there's the season.
We're seeing that all over the league.
Yeah, there's a bit of a contradiction in me because, when Frank Reich went for it, I thought to myself, just play it safe. If you sit there and punt the ball and it ends up with a tie, I'm better with that than a loss. And then yesterday I'm saying, you know what, go for it. I'm looking at the common theme around the league. Teams have been more aggressive in those later downs, fourth downs, than any other season I've ever seen. Even yesterday, I'm watching teams getting to that point where they're saying, should we send the punt team out there or should we go for it? So in agreement with you guys, I'm going to say yes. When you look at the situation that the Cowboys were in, you have nothing to lose. Go ahead and go for it. So my tune has actually changed when you guys gave me a hard time at this table and said, Nate, why not? If you're the coach, why not go for it? So I have to backtrack and say, you know what? I should have said, yes, you're right. Just like yesterday, why not go for it if you're the Cowboys?
You guys all three agree with it, but I agree, and I think you guys will too, that sort of took away from the Texans getting a win here. So we got to give them a little bit of credit, Nate.
No question.
The NFL Twitter account, they churn out a ton of content all the time, and they always pin a tweet that they know is going to go viral. The pinned tweet from Sunday Night Football on the NFL account is this thing that we saw from DeAndre Hopkins.
Got the pin.
Was it 2 spin moves? He did like a
Double
triple
spin.
Lutz, triple sow cow. Like, I don't even know what this thing was.
Awesome.
I do know that this was less than 4 minutes left in overtime. He fumbled the ball, atoned for it, did this incredible move that should be on angry rungs because he's angry about that fumble that he caused earlier. He wants to seal the deal. He goes on and celebrates with his mom. I love this because DeAndre came on our show and I asked him how he feels about sometimes not being mentioned as one of the best wide receivers, if not the best wide receiver. The fact that he made up for it, the fact that he did it in prime time, under the bright lights, winning it for his team, keeping them in it. I loved seeing it.
Yeah, it was great. X's and O's standpoint, just a crossing route. He catches it in traffic, and then he heads upfield, not even looking at the DB, just more like the obstacle of trying to score a touchdown and holding the ball like it was a baby he wasn't going to let go. Shout out to DeAndre Hopkins. Incredible play.
The NFL's leading receiver, DeAndre Hopkins. All right, more highlights for you right now. Giants and Panthers squaring off, Nate.
Yeah, let's get to it. And this one was a good one right here. Odell, 0 touchdowns this season, only had 60 yards last week versus the Saints. Here we are, first quarter, no score. Eli dropping back, and how about the one-handed catch? It seems routine at this point. He goes up, jumps up, snatches it with his hand, comes down, takes a hit. That was a 13-yard gain. Unbelievable. First down, Giants. Second quarter, Giants down 17-3. Yes, I said 17-3. Check out Odell right here. Okay, simple screenplay, right? At first you think so. No. He actually is on his tippy toes, throws a dime to Saquon Barkley, who skates in the end zone, hurdles a little bit right here. That was a 57-yard touchdown.
The Giants having fun.
Oh, they're having fun out
like
there. In the play calling, they're having fun. You can tell that they're trying new things. Score 17-10 at that point. Eli looking for Odell. Mike Adams intercepted it right there. The Panthers will take over on their own 32. Manning's second interception of the season. And yes, Sterling Shepard's hot. Odell's out there trying to contain him. And this is the influence of Odell Beckham, I have to be honest. Sterling Shepard sees that all the time. He's going to do the same thing. Whether you love it or hate it, that's what it is. Okay, Eli Manning looking for who else? Odell Beckham, back in the end zone, skinny post, 2 guys on him. He comes down with a rock, and he says, thank you, football gods, for allowing me to get in the end zone. Let these touchdowns keep pouring down. Next Giants possession, down 30-24. Check out this move. I say, what? He jumps from the 4, and he lands 2 yards in the end zone, which means he was in there for about 6 yards. Looks like he was banged up a little bit, stayed on the ground, but he was okay. He walked to the sideline. That's the one thing you don't want to do is see another running back banged up. Okay, here's Odell. Ensuing Panthers possession.
63 yards.
Oh, good. No, he did.
Stuck it.
Yes, he did.
That's an awesome
63 yards to go-ahead field goal. Of course, Beckham not feeling it, but the Panthers screaming in joy. And how about that? The Panthers 3-1. A big-time win for them, 33-31 over the Giants. And here is Pat Shurmur and OBJ on the loss.
And I'm going to answer all the drama questions right now. And I'm going to go back to what I said. All right? I addressed it with Odell. I addressed it with our team. I publicly declared that I didn't agree with his comments. And I asked anybody that was interested, if they wanted clarification, go to Odell, because he's a big man. Now, I'm not going to give the public a pound of flesh on this, right? That would make me small, not strong. And these are the kind of things, in my opinion, when you have the locker room that we have, that will help galvanize them. Because the locker room took care of it. And that's all I'm saying on it. Finito. Done.
I don't regret anything that I said. If it took that for us to come together as a team like we did today, I could take that every single time. I kind of spoke to the team just to relay the message that sometimes stuff comes off the wrong way. Words can be portrayed in any kind of light. And like I said, the conversations between us, but the way that we responded as a team to what was said, I felt like it would have been too easy after what was said, and then after what I said to them, to come in here and fight and have heart, energy, all that stuff, grit, whatever words you want to use for that. We had it today, and we came up short. But I'm proud of this team, and this is the team that we're going to be for the rest of the season.
All right, let's talk to Rapsy now. Ian Rappaport joining us, our NFL Network insider. You just heard Pat Shurmur say, finito, done, talking about Odell Beckham's comments. Is this really the case? Is it closed?
In New York, no chance. But it doesn't even have to be. And honestly, for the Giants, there was a lot more going on here besides just Odell Beckham's comments. But listen to Pat Shurmur. What he was essentially was the anti-Ben McAdoo. He did not entertain questions on this. He didn't kind of go back and forth with the press. He simply made a very strong statement. He turned the issue over to his locker room, and he kind of moved on. And this is something, Kay, that Shurmur has been doing ever since he arrived in New York. He has made it clear to media members, to his team, that he simply does not have time for all this sort of extra stuff. And he made a big point of saying his focus, unlike when he was a head coach in Cleveland, his focus is going to be strictly on football-related questions. Then there's the matter of Odell's comments. And, yeah, the team's performance actually held up pretty well against his comments. They did fight. They did take a couple deep shots. Perhaps, maybe in a weird way, that was what they needed. But time will tell as far as how the team actually responds. It's pretty clear the comments rubbed a lot of people, especially in that locker room, the wrong way. But this was also a team that was going in the wrong way. So their performance on the field is going to determine what their response was like and whether or not Beckham did something to hurt his team, or actually, as Shurmur said, galvanized the locker room, got them going in the right direction, and maybe woke up some people.
Shurmur taking a positive spin on it and doesn't want to talk about it anymore. Odell not regretting any of those comments made. Thank you so much, Ian Rappaport. We'll talk to you throughout the show and throughout the day here on NFL Network. Back here at the breakfast table, Nate.
Yeah.
Do you think that what he said is helpful to the team?
Well, it's hard to break it down and say what he said because there are so many things said. I mean, the interview had Lil Wayne in it, who just dropped an album, so I'm pretty sure it was more than just sports that was talked about with that sit-down. I will say this. You have to kind of compartmentalize it. Pat Shurmur saying that this galvanized the locker room, or will galvanize the locker room. I believe when he's talking about heart and passion and grit, yeah, that stuff does galvanize the locker room. If anybody has a problem with Odell saying that, then you got to have a problem with Aaron Rodgers saying it, or Tom Brady, or any other superstar that gets paid a ton of money. It's like Peter Parker's uncle, who said, with great responsibility it comes great powers come great responsibility. With great money comes great leadership, and I think Odell for the first time has taken that role. The one thing I don't agree with is when Josina asked him about Eli, and he says, I don't know. I mean, he can't get out the pocket, and we'll see what happens. Does he have a few more throws in him? We'll see. That's him being honest, because we'd all be lying and contradicting ourselves if we said that we didn't say that at one point this season, that Eli can't move and he's not getting the ball downfield. He missed Odell on 10 passes going into this game. But I would say to Odell, just keep that in-house. Like, answer the questions generically. Hit him with a cliche. That's my guy. I ride with him. He's a legend. He's going to the Hall of Fame. And then you get into the locker room and say, Eli, man, I need you to give me the rock. We're having problems. So that's the only thing that I would say I have a problem with the interview. Everything else, I'm good with. I love the honesty. Every other player can be honest. When Odell does it, it's like, oh, here he goes again, being crazy Odell. No, he's just being honest Odell. The fact that these guys fell short of expectations going into this game, the fact that they haven't scored 30 points since 2015, the fact that the Giants, quite frankly, for lack of better words, look trash up to this point. That's what galvanized this team, not the words of Odell.
So did he help?
No, I don't think guys read the article and said, hey, this is going to help us win this game. No.
I look at it this way. The first 4 weeks of the season, we were talking about the Chiefs, talking about the Rams, talking about these exciting rookie quarterbacks. Forget losses and wins and catches. Odell Beckham hates being irrelevant. And he was irrelevant the first month of the season. He had nothing to do with the season. And for him to sit down with Josina Anderson and Lil Wayne and take down his team, to me, he's just trying to be relevant. And he's relevant again. Here we are. You're 1-4. We're talking about you, Odell.
Listen, we take shots at Odell in the media. No teammate ever does it. The teammates love him. And I don't think it's a coincidence that Odell speaks out and then addresses the team the night before the game, and all of a sudden they're scoring, they're fun, they lost on a 63-yard field goal, basically. They won that game. Yeah. You can say finito. How about some puntos and el partido? Yeah. All right, el hermanito Eli was good.
It helped?
I think it did. Yes, I do. I think he lit a fire. I think he changed the energy, changed the mojo. All of a sudden the team looked completely different. I can't see it as a coincidence.
Aaron Rodgers does it all the time.
Yeah.
He talks to the media so he can talk to his team.
You do point that out when it happens. We'll see what you guys think out there. We'd love to hear from you, Giants fans, from you, NFL fans, from you, millions of Odell fans out there. Tweet us at #GMFB. Guys, we don't even have the New York papers on the
Yeah, what happened? Are they explicit?
Are they caving?
When they take him away, there's something bad.
We'll be back. We'll give you guys highlights, but it's Eagles at Giants, a classic divisional rivalry. Here in the Big Apple, Carson Wentz taking on that Odell and those G-men. Eagles-Giants, when it's on.
It's on!
It's Thursday Night Football, just a couple days away. It's October 11th at 8 on NFL Network on Fox and streaming on Prime Video. Up next, this is